genocide in the Bible is justified. I would love to hear how you want to back this one up.
If you breed with someone who has the same faulty genes that you have, it could produce a child who inherits a lot of medical problems. The real damage would come generations later. By then, with less diversity in your gene pool, it might be harder for your body to survive changes in the environment. Researchers at the Eindhoven University of Technology found that inbreeding may have caused the Neanderthals to go extinct. Simulations show that this early version of humans lived in small groups. Their bad genes caused their birth rates to decrease until eventually they died out. That 0.1% difference in our DNA is hugely important. And if we were to decide to keep our family traits in only our families, we might do some severe damage to our genomes.
A complete close incestual list of things that they did. So from a genetic perspective, you should be glorifying God that he wiped them out.
Whoa, from a genetic perspective, we should glorify the murder of humans because they were
of close incestual breeding that would have spawned humanity. Yeah. Absolutely.
How is that justified?
They're going to be responsible for populating the earth. Yeah.
Even innocent animals that they didn't do anything bad, God found, the all merciful God found that even the animals have to be killed.
If you look at it from a genetic perspective, the animals were probably just as inbred as they were. And we know how that would have ended up, right?
Hold on.
Inbreeding increases the risk of problems with health and reproduction. Why? Because alleles that have a negative effect on health status tend to inherit recessively. So 2 copies are required to come to expression. Why is that related to inbreeding? Because inbreeding is the mating of related individuals. To understand why this would increase the homozygosity, we need to go back to one of the basics of biology, gametogenesis.
This is eugenics. This is disgusting. Do you not understand what you're advocating for with that?
This is what Hitler advocated for.
This is your ideology, Ben, not mine. You're the
I didn't know.
You're the one that said
I am not Rick. Oh no, I'm gonna mute you.
So is it illegal to marry your sister where you're from, Ben? Can you be put in jail for that?
Hypothetical question. So if you were at home and somebody broke into your house and they wanted to rape your daughters, kill your sons, and take your wife, do you feel like you have a right to kill them?
This was not the question I was going to say.
So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives. Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had no more power to weep.
If there's no other choice, whether or not it's okay then to act in self-defense, but that's not necessarily the issue here. So if you think about this too,
and David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away, and David rescued his 2 wives.
If I had means to stop them without killing them, I would do that first.
And Saul said unto the Kenites, Go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt.
If we're talking in any self-defense type situation, like obviously I don't want to kill them. That is not the end goal. The end goal is to get away safely. So if I can do that by a lesser means, like if I can grapple somebody and keep them from harming somebody, that's infinitely better to keep them alive and possibly injured than to kill them. Even if they're taking negative actions against me, even if their intent was to kill me, it's better that I don't.
Also, you brought up killing people, right? The idea, we can all agree that killing people is wrong. And the first thing that came to mind in my mind was that I disagree. It may or may not be wrong. And like the laws here in the United States recognize that. There's different degrees even of murder. There's manslaughter. You know, there's if someone is attacking you and you have to make the horrible, unfortunate decision to defend yourself, and that person ends up, being unalived. It's not considered
that TikTok.
Yeah, it's not considered to be, not only is it not legally, actionable, we won't even think of that as being morally bad. It's, you were defending yourself. You did what you had to do, right?
I mean, if killing was an absolute last resort, then yes, but it's not going to be my go-to.
The premise of your question is behind the answer.
I mean, also, like, I don't know necessarily until it's happening what kind of violence they would want to do unless they're explicitly telling me ahead of time. And if they're telling me ahead of time, then yeah, I would do every means possible to prevent that. But like, I don't know what this has to do with morality in the Bible, though.
Came to pass, when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the 3rd day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south, and Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag, and burned it with fire, and had taken the women captives that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away, and went on their way. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives.
For Amalekites and Canaanites, but that's the exact story.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah,
Absolutely
no, I'm sorry.
not.
Yeah,
See, here's the thing.
When you go into someone else's village and genocide them, that's very different than a strong stance on the
Destroying and enslaving a nation state is different from defending your home from your family from a single invader.
I am a young man of Egypt, servant to an Amalekite, and my master left me because 3 days agone I fell sick. We made an invasion upon the south of the Kerethites, and upon the coast which belongeth to Judah, and upon the south of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag with fire. And David said to him, Canst thou bring me down to this company? And he said, Swear unto me by God that thou wilt neither kill me, nor deliver me into the hands of my master, and I will bring thee down to this company. And when he had brought him down, behold, they were spread abroad upon all the earth, eating and drinking and dancing, because of all the great spoil that they had taken out of the land of the Philistines, and out of the land of Judah. And David smote them from the twilight even unto the evening of the next day. And there escaped not a man of them, save 400 young men which rode upon camels and fled. And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away, and David rescued his 2 wives. And there was nothing lacking to them, neither small nor great, neither sons nor daughters, neither spoil, nor anything that they had taken to them. David recovered all.
The list of things that the Canaanites did, one of which is sacrificing their children. We found an Amorite site that had hundreds of babies chopped in half, decapitated in little vials all around their holy site.
See all the J's, jar burials with not just baby bones in them, burned baby bones in them. Okay, this is about a 6, 7-year-old girl that was cut in half. You can tell, by the way, when they're cut in half because you have a cut mark right through the vertebrae.
Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God, for every abomination to the Lord which he hateth have they done unto their gods, for even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods.
Below this area, McAllister discovered a cave, and when his team cleared it, a flat stone was found at the center of the cave. Still lying upon it were the remains of the skeleton of a human infant.
Case when killing humans is okay. Is it okay to kill humans?
Well, you just said transphobia has no place in a society, so where does murdering babies have a place in society?
I would not, I never said that transphobes would be murdered. The way that I would get rid of transphobia in society is namely through education and, social consequences, like not letting people say things like that and not have people stand in opposition to it.
The Israelites, they should have called the police, or they should have sent them to Oxford University. That's your solution for people 350 or 3,500 years ago? They did what they had to do to survive. These people were murdering them. Read the Bible.
You won't even think of that as being morally bad. It's, you were defending yourself. You did what you had to do, right?
Many of them, not the Israelites, quote, did what they had to do.
Yeah.
The Amalekites dwelt in the land of the south, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwelt in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwelt by the sea, and by the coast of Jordan.
So the Amalekites and the Amorites and the Canaanites, they all drove in the same circles.
And served Baal. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger.
That's disgusting, and I think any group of people saying they're God's chosen people is also disgusting.
This is what Hitler advocated for.